Yeah, looks like he's watching director Buse and Yamagishi's old works. Well, he obviously can't watch them all since he's skimming through them. So he's researching into his rivals. And that's what he said. He should probably give him more motivation for the project. I see. I look forward to seeing how his work turns out. All I know is that Rio really was sick. Was really sick? Wait. The villa that Ibuse currently resides in when he needs to make his work? Eventually, his gaze seems to fix on a single spot. I see. Don't tell me this is another Sakurai plot. Did he... But then how did he get killed? Was he poisoned and then the poison just so happened to take effect there? What? Or was it one of those, like, you know, from the Kingsmen? You know, where, like, they drink the poison and they had, like, the little pen button that, like, activated the poison? Is it, like, one of those? Like, how would he, like, immediately start choking and dying at the right moment when he was gonna, like, talk about shit? Is he really dead? Like I said, don't tell me this is another Sakurai thing. Like, they snuck him out through a body bag. They stuffed him through the pneumatic system! I'm never gonna live that one down. Man, I just wanted someone to be stuffed through the pneumatic system. That'd be such a good ploy. How did his body get transported? I don't know, the bloodstains inside the pneumatic tubes probably give it a dead giveaway that he was stuffed through the pneumatic system, but I don't know, I'm just speculating here. Sitting inside the dark van, Yagumo gazes into his laptop's monitor alone. 3 days had passed since Ibuse's death, but he'd spent all that time in the van, except when the police called him in for questioning. A faint moan escapes his lips. Perhaps his moan had been heard because the van's door opens and Megari peers inside. Director, Monomi's going back to the mainland, but she said she wants to give us her regards before she goes. Oh, right, got it. So, you're back. Yes, I mean, after what happened to him. And I need to deal with all the fallout in the office, too. Right. The police told me he was involved with the pilot film 10 years ago. Looks like it. Except I still don't know how it's connected to what's going on now. Yes, I'm still a bit confused too. A short silence settles over the two and they're unsure of what to say to each other. Eventually, Monomi raises her hung head. I'm sorry. I'll be off then. Saying simply that, she walks off toward the harbor. Megari whispers softly as she watches her leave. I can't believe Monomi has to deal with this awful business at a time like this. That's awful. I don't really know what the relationship between the two of them was, but it does feel like they were really tight partners. Yeah, it did. And you've been shut up in the van for 3 days, and you've probably been looking at the footage from when director Ibuse died the whole time. If you keep looking at actual footage of people dying, you'll go crazy, you know. No, I've just been watching his past works. Really? Megari looks around at the interior of the van. Like Yagumo said, the laptop was placed on the seat and playing what Megari recognized as one of Ibuse's old films. Looks like you're telling the truth. Well, that's good then. But come on, hiding in a van for days isn't good for you. Go outside and get some fresh air. Yeah, you're right. I will. Yeah, come on, let's go. If you get sick and pass out, my livelihood will be in danger. Yagumo walks off with Megari pushing him from behind. Man, I don't know, man. I think we really could friggin'... I got a feeling that it's not, like, obviously it's not Ibuse. Because, well, that's the thing. I think they killed off Ibuse then and there because they want you to, like, forget that it's him. So it's someone else. Obviously, because... how the frick? I mean, how the frick did they play out the poison shit? I will not be convinced if they tell me they just fed him poison at the right amount, like the right time, that we were gonna show up and he was gonna tell us enough but not enough and then die. You know what I mean? It has to have been some kind of triggered reaction. But obviously it's not Abuse, because that was kind of who I was first, like, slightly leaning towards. But, God, who can it be? How does the prologue link? Alright. I don't know why I went to the cliff. Oh! I know that what this music is. I guess it's good that I went to the cliff. Huh? Wait, is that... wait, is that... Shimoneko. It's Shimoneko! I'm surprised to see you on the Oki Islands. Well, the islands are still part of Shimane. It's not that usual for Shimoneko to be here. Nod, nod. See, Shimoneko says so too. Whoosh, whoosh. What's that? I am Shimoneko, the Alpha and the Omega who transcends Shimane's time and space? Shake, shake. I shall rise as many times as Shimane's people need me to deliver this land from darkness, you say? Oh, Shimoneko, you're amazing! Shake, shake, shake. Right. You're glad I understood you. He's off his... Oh, sweet. Oh, did I get all the sightings then? Always there for you, yeah. Always there for you, yeah! He's obviously saying something else entirely. Sweet. So wait, does that mean there's still going to be like another Nego 6? Does that mean... Is Nego 6 going to be here? There was dialogue about like a potential question here in Beppu Port. So, in Beppu Port, a familiar figure was waiting for the group. Please. Yes! We did it! Nego 6, baby. Oh wait, he doesn't have like Baki Baki on him anymore. He just says... Oh wait, no. Oh, he has the actual Baki Baki on it now. It's a map. That's funny. Huh? Him again? Hello! You've done well to find me. Thank you for looking for me so enthusiastically. Now, when we're really looking for you... We weren't really looking for you. And isn't the print on your t-shirt different too? What's with the print? It's some kind of weird map. What's the idea behind it? The final climactic Baki Baki Shimane quiz. He ignored me. The Oki Islands are troubled by an overpopulation of a certain animal which doesn't naturally inhabit the place. Which animal is that? Islands lead me to believe there's monkeys. Do raccoons live on islands? It's definitely not monkeys. Like, what I mean is, like, monkeys, I feel like, naturally inhabit the place. So I'm trying to pick the one that... I was just saying, do raccoon... Because... Well, raccoons can swim. But would they really want to swim out to an island and populate the island? But then again, same with rabbits. Rabbits... Oh, it's a toss-up between raccoons and rabbits for me. Because I could see monkeys living on an island. I want to say raccoons, because to me, raccoons are more like, you know, trash... Like, for real. Like, raccoons are more like that, like, feral cat. Something that would want to hang out more towards the cities rather than be on, like, secluded islands. You know, they're kind of like trash dwellers, you know? They kind of steal, like, the bagels out the trash and shit. You know what I mean? I don't know, that's such a weird, like, conclusion to come to, but I want to say raccoons is, like, the non-inhabitant. Yes! Correct! It said a pair of raccoons were presented to a village mayor as a gift, which went on to breed and overpopulate, but no one knows if that's true. But currently, they've multiplied over 3 times in the island's population, over 2,000 of them. What a problem. But with that final quiz, let's meet again if we get the chance. See ya! Oh my, what the fuck? Hey, wait, what's with that t-shirt print based on? Where is that map from? At least tell us that! The fuck is going on? Ah, damn it, it's gonna bother me. But Magari's shout is in vain. Nego 6 vanishes into the void. It played creepy music too. What the fuck? Alright, so I guess that's all the sightings of Shimoneko and Nego 6. So we did it. We did it. We caught them all. Nice. I'm glad I was able to at least do that. I don't know if I did all the special things, but that's pretty cool. Or maybe we can't. Let's just go to the shrine, I guess now. I don't really know where to go. Ah! This is a squid! 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 I'm scared! Why are there squids hanging around here? The moment they step into the Yurihime Shrine's premises, Yagumo hears Sakuya's voice. Turning his glance, he catches sight of Director Yamagishi and Sakuya, who's panicking from seeing the squids in the woods. Sakuya's reacting the same as you, Magari. Well, yeah, she would. Those things are just too surreal and weird. You went through something really terrible, huh, Rintaro? Was the police questioning really harsh? Oh, it wasn't that bad. We had the camera rolling at the time, so the footage helped. Yeah, right. I bet you never imagined you just walk into a scene of an incident like that. It's fine. I ran into incidents already in Sawano and Yotsuno. I'm used to the incidents and being questioned by now. I don't think that's something you should be happy about. No, my DualSense wireless controller battery level is low! What am I gonna do? I see you're together with Sakuya today, Director Yamagishi. Oh, hello, Director Yagumo. Yes, I am. Sakuya said she wanted to see the interesting shrine, so I brought her along. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't need to babysit her. No, not at all. If this contributes to her acting, it'd only help me. Mr. Funakoshi didn't come Mr. Funakoshi didn't come along, though? Yes, I think he preferred to walk around on his own, so we're going separately for today. I feel like I'm going to get information from him, so... By the way, about the investigation. Yes, they said they're done questioning me. I did go to the Akasawa Goshu alone, so thankfully Sakuya and Mr. Funakoshi weren't caught up in the investigation. Really? I'm sorry. You got mixed up in this because of us. Oh no, it wasn't your fault. They say Director Ibuse committed suicide. Well, I'm relieved you feel that way at least. Besides, it was my first time being interrogated by the police. Maybe it'll be useful as a reference for a future film. It felt like even if I told them something that felt important, they wouldn't listen. Reality has a way of being different from fiction, after all. Yes. Did you have something important to tell them? Yes, did you have something important to tell them? Well, judging by the police's reaction, it wasn't major information, but there was something that felt off to me. Oh? What was it? Well, when I visited him, I got the feeling there was someone else in the house except for Director Ibuse. So I guess that could explain how... Well, I mean, they had to be there, because obviously if the poison or whatever caused him to spurt up blood, they had to, like, be able to witness him to trigger it at the right time. If that's what they were going to do. You know? Well, then again, I guess they could just leave a camera, but what's to say that Ibuse wouldn't just take the camera down? You know what I mean? So I feel like they had to physically be present. Plus, he was also... I'm assuming it's whoever Yugen Sai Kumashiro is. That's odd. I thought Director Ibuse shut himself out in that house to focus on writing. Did someone else visit him except for Director Yamagishi and us? While feeling the question tug at him, Yagumo feigned calmness and asked, Oh? Like who? I couldn't tell who it was. It's just that when I saw him, there were 2 coffee cups on the table. I see. Coffee, huh? I'm gonna just leave it at that. I don't know. I don't know if that's important. I don't know. Is that important or not? Coffee. That would make it seem like someone else was there. Or maybe he's just into drinking from 2 cups. Like going from black coffee with milk. he'd be one hell of a weirdo if that's true. Hey, he really did come across as one hell of a weirdo. Yeah, I can't deny that. Anything else on that? Incidentally, how did the interrogation go for you, Director Yagamo? Oh, they settled for questioning us only once, too. They thought one time was pretty long. Well, you were witness to the moment it happened. It's only natural. The only silver lining is that you had your camera running. True, it's thanks to the footage they decided we're innocent almost immediately. I don't want to think what would have happened if we didn't have that. Oh, incidentally, okay. Yeah, so he's done. Anything else, Sayuka? So, are you really going to continue location scouting after what happened? Of course. If anything, there's no reason to stop. No, you saw murder, you know. Maybe you're shaken up by this whole ordeal and should stop filming for now. Nah, I can't change the filming schedule over something like this. I can't change the film schedule even though one of the damn directors to the project just fucking got murked. Like, for almost talking too much. We gotta keep going. Like, what? You sound like Director Yamagishi. Are all movie directors like this? Yeah, you're still gonna continue. Of course we are. I guess we should maybe go get the police report. Gonna crack open my spicy water. My spicy water. For my Thrussy. What are you two doing here? We're not scheduled to questions for today. Oh no, we're just curious if there was any developments. None. A superintendent came in from the mainland today. I don't have time for you, so take a hike. The superintendent? You can't mean... A certain face surfaces in Yagamo and Magari's minds. And sure enough, he enters the station the next moment. The fucking ding-dong. Ding-dong! Oh, hello there, Officer Matsushita. Thankfully, I just finished inspecting the crime scene. Yes, good work, Superintendent. But man, it sure is hot in the islands. I'm pretty thirsty right now. No problem, I'll get a drink immediately. Matsushita enters entirely under the impression Kishino is a superintendent. He hurries behind the counter to prepare some cold tea. I don't think there's supposed to be a second two there. Seeing Matsushita treat Kishino with such extreme devoted courtesy, even Yagamo can't help but feel bad for him. Damn. This is obstruction of justice. Oh god, wait, before I start. Maybe not. I felt it, but I think it's gone. No, I was gonna sneeze, but now it's gone, like a fleeting fart in the wind. Alright, I guess we gotta learn the damn shit from him, unless he's gonna be like, oh, you didn't tell me where Hatoa's hospital was, so I'm not gonna give you any more information. Oh, Hatoa. I have her feet pics hung up on my ceiling so I can stare at them while I sleep. I need to stop! Someone help me! Hey, what are you doing here, Inspector Kishino? What are you guys doing here? Wait, did you just see that? We totally did. You sure lied about being the superintendent again, huh? Poor Island's officers having to bend backwards for you. No, it's just... being treated important like that feels pretty nice. So I just... Oh, no. No, I mean, I didn't lie. I gave my name and they just jumped to conclusions. That's a total lie. You probably introduced yourself with a tone that made them misunderstand you, didn't you? Kishino recoils at her question, but Matsushita speaks up as if to help him out, after returning with his tea. Hey, you guys, don't bother the superintendent with your nonsense. You might not understand it, but he's a very important figure. Refrain from bothering him. No, you don't get it. This guy, he... Officer Matsushita, it's just an innocent civilian girl fooling around. There is no need to scold over her trifles. Yes, sir. If you say so, Superintendent. I must admire your magnanimous look, Superintendent. Oh, not at all. Nah. Megari glares at Kashino with an expression that screamed, I'm pissed, but she knew better than to pick a needless fight. She falls silent and simply withdraws. Alright, so aside from you pretending to be like a suave, important figure, what kind of clues you got for us, brother? Yagumo speaks to Kashino silently, so Matsushita doesn't hear them. Is Inspector Masawa with you, Inspector Kashino? He's still inspecting the crime scene at Asakawa Goshu. Said he still wants to check a few more things, but the on-the-spot investigation is done, so we'll be meeting up and heading back to the mainland after this. Already? Talk about a round trip. Well, we need to search Mr. Ibuse's office in Tokyo. We'll be in Tokyo tomorrow or the day after that. Oh. So, what was the results of the investigation? Did you find anything? Hey now, I tell you this every time, but we can't just tell you stuff like that. It'll be on the papers eventually, so keep your eye out for that. But this stuff is bothering me. Can't you at least tell us the cause of death? No, that's pretty critical information. Don't say that. Please, tell him. No, stay out of this case and go sightseeing or something. Oh, alrighty then. Matsushita! Actually, this guy is... Megari shouts at Matsushita, but Kashino hurriedly covers her mouth. Stop that! What are you doing? What do you mean, what? I'm telling him you're just a common detective. Wait. If you tell him that now, it'll be, well, kind of awkward. Well, you reap what you sow. Matsushita! Fine, I get it. Then are you gonna tell us? Only as cause of death. Got it? Yeah, sure. Apparently Mr. Ibuse was taking Nutrient capsules on the daily, but this time there was a poison mixed into them. Man, but that doesn't explain why he fucking choked blood, like, at the right moment at the right time. Unless it was one of those, like, you know, Kingsman, like, pen-triggered poison activation things. Unless he wasn't planning on, like, all of us to stop by. But it seems like he coughed up that blood at the right moment he was gonna spill the beans. Huh? Nutrient capsules? I figured it was poison from how he died, but that's what it was mixed into? Yeah, he probably prepared it to use it in case something happened. So you're saying he willingly killed himself? Probably. It's clear from the footage you submitted too. Yeah. Well, you're lucky you always have a camera rolling. If it weren't for that, you'd be prime suspect again. Yeah, I can imagine why. So he willingly killed himself. It looks that way, but something doesn't sit well with me. No, we know that. If there was another person in that room, because the whole clue with the, it felt like there was someone else in the building, has to mean something. And it looked like he was okay with spilling the beans. After we, like, confronted him about, like, he was the director on the project. So, oh my god, who is freaking Yugen Sai Kumashiro, man? At this point, I'm letting the game ride out. I'm done thinking. I just want to know the answer, man. Obviously, it's someone it has to be someone we know. That's all I know as much, but, like, obviously not someone who is legitimately already dead. Though, I don't know. Sayama, because I mean that would be my other conclusion, because they did bring up coffee, that there was 2 cups of coffee out, and who else do we know is an avid coffee drinker? I'm picking up on details like that. I would say Sayama, and Sayama's always been throwing us for a damn loop. I would not be surprised if it was him, but I feel like that's a little too obvious. I feel like they wanted to end his story at he helped on the project, but I don't think he's like Yugen Sai Kumashiro. It has to be someone that holds a grudge against anyone trying to fucking find the truth. And it has to link directly to the prologue. It has to link to the person jumping from the fucking skyscraper. It has to be. Or whatever, the building. I don't know if it was a sky. They would have definitely died upon impact if it was a skyscraper. But, like, you maybe could, like, bleed out and survive from, like, a 6 to 7 story fall. I mean, you'd be completely, utterly crippled and, like, borderline death, but you might be able to survive as long as your spine doesn't snap up into your fucking skull. I was pretty morbid to talk about that, but I'm just, like, I can't fathom who it could be at this point. I mean, a lot of people have I'm just trying to, like, reminisce on all the characters, like, who's gonna hold a grudge, who's gonna have been there 10 years ago. I can't see it. Like, the only person I could see that might correlate is Sayama, but I just don't think it's him. I think he just had relation to the film like most other people, but I don't think he's the mastermind. Anyway, something doesn't sit well with me. We should check the footage of his death again. I think with that, we should probably, pitter-patter and skedaddle to the van. We gotta check the footage. Where's the van? The van was supposed to be here. We now turn to the judgment of the Ordtrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal. For your judgment. Whoever, like, put that to the beat of Another One Bites the Dust is a genius. That shit slaps. The Ordtrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Huh? You're gonna watch it alone? I can function as your operator, director. Yagumo tries to get into the van alone to confirm the footage from Ibuse's death, but Magari stops him. No, only I should watch it. A girl your age shouldn't have to see a footage of someone dying. It'll be bad for your parental care, too. I'm not pregnant, director. Anyway, you just wait here. Then let me operate the video instead. I'm not as good as Magari, but I've dabbed in it. It's the same for you. I just need to operate the preview, so I'll be fine. You two wait outside. Leaving those words behind, Yagumo ignores the two of them and looks like they have something to say, and enters the van. I need to make sure what it was that felt off to me back there. Yagumo sets the video to just before Ibuse starts coughing up blood. What am I trying to get at? What's happening? What are we getting at here? Fine, fine. That means my objective has been achieved. Objective? What objective? What did you make that film for? What does making me watch that thing achieve? Well, you see... What? Huh? I see. Ice. Oh, I thought he was getting at, like, maybe he was saying someone's name with, like, the ice. No, but he said I see. So obviously there's a that confirms that there was someone else that killed him. Because he was going to spill the beans, and then he was like, oh, I see. Like, I'm dead now, because I'm getting killed for trying to spill the beans. Right there. He said, I see. That's what fell off to me. Yagumo pauses the footage and looks carefully at Ibuse inside the screen. When he started coughing up blood, he looked surprised, but he relaxes after saying, I see. His expression looks like he understood something. Just what did he see? What happened just then? Yagumo rewinds the video and plays it again. Fine then. That means my objective has been achieved. Objective? What objective? What did you make that film for? What does making me watch that thing achieve? Well, you see... What? Huh? I see. Yagumo pauses the footage and looks carefully at Ibuse inside the screen. He was looking at us just before it happened, but the moment he said, I see, he was looking at the camera. Did he see something in the direction of the camera that made him say, I see? No way. Maybe he wasn't looking at the camera itself, but at Kanaide, who was holding it. That's absurd. Words of denial escape Yagumo's lips on their own. No. 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 Absolutely not. No. No. I made a joke about it. No, there's no fucking way. There's absolutely no fucking way. I literally joked about it, like, at the beginning of chapter 4, like, maybe it was the end. No, I think it was the end of chapter 3, was it not? Or was it the beginning? It was sometime in chapter, whatever. I made a joke about it. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. Kanaide shouldn't have anything to do with Director Ibuse. And 10 years ago, Kanaide was 16. He shouldn't have been related to that project, in which case, Director Ibuse was looking at... We're good, right? It's not Kanaide. Absolutely not. Oh, he's out. What is it? Did you figure anything out? Yeah, there's something I want to check. We're going to check Akasawa Gosho. Let's go, Magari. Kanaide. Huh? Oh, yeah. Dude, I swear. I swear. There's no way. Absolutely no way. The entrance to the Akasawa Gosho is taped off. Yagumo waits as the officer standing guard in front of them looks at them suspiciously. Eventually, the man he was waiting for comes out. Yagumo waits for the right time to speak to Misawa, who was talking with the guard. Misawa. No, Yagumo. You're involved with this incident again, is what I would say, but... Misawa lowers his voice to a whisper. This incident is connected to what happened in Yotsuno, isn't it? And by that, I mean Isaiah Ibuse was that Yugensai Kumashiro guy. Well, I don't know that for sure yet. What? I saw the footage you gave us, and that clearly looks like a confession to the crime. Ibuse was completely exposed and committed suicide by poison. Isn't that what happened? It is, but there's something still... Hey, you're being unusually elusive here. Does something still feel wrong? Yeah, and I came here to ensure that. I'd like to look at the scene of the crime again. Can you make that happen? Sure. We finished the investigation and combed the place for evidence. We're about to lift the blockade, so go on ahead. We should be going back to the mainland next, so I'll tell the guard to let you through. Thank you. It's a huge help. You're actually oddly nice today, Misawa. Did something happen? Well, I've been through a lot with you guys, so I've gotten a bit attached to you. Misawa? Anyway, that's the deal. You can go check the crime scene, so if you find something, let me know. Yeah, understood. Roger. He's a cool dude now. I appreciate him. I mean, he saved our freaking lives, and he just had to open up a little bit. And now that I realize that Mamba and all those scenes were fake, yeah, that leads me to believe. Because in this case, this is real, like, police work. So, like, yeah, you can't just let a civilian into the scene of the crime. Whereas in the movie, it's like, oh, it's okay. We'll let the civvies into the scene of the crime. It was all, like, staged shit. So I could see why Misawa stays reserved until it's like, okay, clearly this case is revolving around Yagumo. He clearly knows some things. I should let him investigate too and let the case drive through his eyes. Then he's kind of like understood that now. It's like, we've been through a lot, yada, yada, yada. We'll use the power of friendship. Yagumo's group wait until Misawa is out of sight and head into the Akasawa Gosho. They enter the room where they spoke with Ibuse. The bleeding left a large dark red stain on the floor, and the position on the body was all roped off. So, what did you come here to check, Director? I just want to recreate the situation. Recreate it? Yeah, Magari, Kanaide, you remember where you stood back then, right? Stand here, stand there, even if you're not sure that's the exact spot. Huh? Okay. He was looking at the mirror. So whoever it was out, it has to be. He was looking at the mirror then. If that's where Kanaide was standing, I'm assuming he was looking at the mirror, and whoever it was making sure that he died was watching from outside through the mirror. The two's expressions turn apprehensive, but they do as he says and assume their spots. Unless, of course, he was looking at Kanaide and, but I doubt it. Come on, there's no way. Having confirmed this, Yagumo tiptoes around the bloodstain and moves to the spot Ibuse was standing in. I think it was about like this. I was standing to your right at the time, right, Magari? Yep, right here. Magari mentions the direction of where Yagumo stood. Yagumo nods and continues. At the time, Ibuse was right here and spoke to me. After that, he started coughing up blood. He looked this way and whispered, I see. As he speaks, Yagumo turns to look at Kanaide, who's holding the camera. Right. Kanaide? I remember that clearly. He left a pretty lasting impression. In other words, Director Ibuse said, I see, to something or someone standing in that direction. The question is, who or what it was. Wait a sec. He said that while he was looking at Kanaide. That's what I'm going to check right now. It's the mirror. I already know it's the mirror. I mean, should we investigate everything? Screw it. Let's just get on with it. I know it's the mirror. There's a large dressing mirror at the room's corner. Looking at it, Yagumo notices he can see a view from outside the window in the reflection. Yagumo strains his eyes to look at the view reflected in the mirror, as he realizes the garden outside can be seen in the reflection. So they weren't actually in the building, they were outside the building. Or they were in the building at first, but then left the building after everyone had started visiting Ibuse, and then he made sure the deed was done by looking in the mirror through the room. I think this man was having a slice of blueberry pie, but then shot himself, but set up the gun to make it look like the gun shot the pie. Aha! I got it! This is... Huh? Did you understand something? Yes, standing from this position, it's clear. At the time, Director Ibuse was looking behind Kanaide, at the mirror. Yagumo speaks at Kanaide while keeping his gaze fixed on the mirror. Well, Kanaide, did the way the Director Ibuse look at you when it happened look like this? That's exactly how he looked. At first I thought he was looking into the camera, but it faintly felt like his alignment was a bit off. Right, I knew it. What do you mean? If he was looking at the mirror, why would he... He wasn't looking at the mirror per se. He was looking at the view that was reflected there. In other words, someone was reflected in the mirror. Someone standing out in the garden outside. Someone? Yeah, remember what Director Yamagishi said. It felt like there was someone else in the Akasaka Gosho except for Director Ibuse. That's because there was. And whoever that was, he knew where to be and went out into the garden to hide from us. Are you saying Director Ibuse saw that person's figure reflected in the mirror? Yes, and upon seeing that person, he realized everything. That's why he said, I see. But who? There's only one option. And it's Monomi. No fucking way. Really? What a twist. Huh? This is... Wait up! On that day, Monomi split up from us and went to the Hashira port. So... As she speaks, Magari opens up the ferry timetable. See? The ferry Monomi took to Hashira port in Kaguni arrives at its destination at 12:40. After that, there's no ferry or rainbow jet that heads back to Port Beppu. Monomi couldn't have gone to the Akasaka Gosho on that day. There were ways of crossing the island except for the Oki steamboats. She could have used that to go back to Port Beppu. And I think Monomi anticipated in the project 10 years ago, too. It's the only explanation for what I felt off to me in the third film. What do you mean by that? The way the movie's shot. It's off. I've been looking at Director Ibuse's old works to make sure of that. Maybe that's just mainly pretentious at play. But Director Ibuse's the type to use low angles, and there's lots of pauses after spoken lines. Both of those were his quirks, and they come up often in his films, even old ones from 10 years ago. But the third film had none of that. In other words, someone else filmed it. Fuck. A deep, heavy silence settles over the trio. Unable to bear the weight of that silence, Magari parts her lips. Why would Monomi do that? I don't know either, but for now, we'll need to see if my reasoning is correct. Let's go, Magari. Kanaide. Yagumo's theory was all too shocking for the two of them. The trio shuffles away with heavy steps, the responses they normally would have given left unsaid. So, is it really Monomi? I definitely feel like we're coming to the conclusion soon, though. Upon arriving at Beppu... Oh, see, now it's only got one P. Man, they nerfed my Beppu port. They took the P out. They took one of the P's out. They nerfed it. Upon arriving at Beppu port, Yagumo crosses the ferry wharf and heads to the edge of the port. Wait, Director, where are you going? To the domestic vessel wharf. Domestic vessels? The locals don't use large ferries like we did. They take domestic vessels to go to work or school. Monomi probably used that. So you're saying if she used a domestic vessel... Yeah, she got off at Kuniga in Hashira Port at 12:40 and then boarded the domestic vessel Isokaze at 13:21, which would let her go back to the Beppu port in minutes, which means if she used the domestic vessel, she would have had plenty of time to get there by the time Director Ibuse died. They reached the domestic vessel wharf where a small ferry, the Isokaze, soon came into view, just like Yagumo said. Yagumo turned to the man standing in the wharf and basking in the sun, likely a ferry's captain, and spoke to him. Yagumo spoke to him shortly while showing off some smartphone screens. Eventually he returns to Magari's side with a stiff expression. How did it go? It's like I thought. The captain remembers Monomi taking the ferry back that day. Oh, fucking hell, bro. How does she fit into it, though? Is it really her? Oh my god, that's crazy. It's unusual for anyone but a local to take a domestic ferry, and she's pretty enough to stand out. I see. I don't want to believe it yet. Me neither, but there's no running from the truth at this point. Wait, no. Oh my god, I'm fucking scared for Hitowa. Oh my god, she was in a room alone with her. No, please don't tell me Hitowa's dead. Please don't tell me she, unplugged her life support or whatever. Oh my god, I'm scared. Dude, no. Please, no. I hope she didn't do anything to Hitowa. At this point, I'm more worried about Hitowa surviving than realizing that Monomi's the main culprit of this entire game. Please, man. I don't need this right now. It's always the baddies, man! Yeah, you're right. This is the truth, after all. Can we get some more information from the cafe? Oh, wow, there's actually... Oh, there's Mamba. Oh, wait, his name's not Mamba, though. It's Funakoshi or whatever. Oh? When they visited yesterday, the store was very relaxed, but people in the store were excited people were excited in the store that day. Apparently, Funakoshi was surrounded by the locals, who were speaking to him enthusiastically. No, really, I always watch the Inspector Chukigo Gawa series. Oh, thank you very much. Episode 65 should be airing soon, so make sure to watch it too. I will. I'll watch it, definitely. Mr. Funikoshi, go on, say it. Inspector Chunagasha's trademark line. Sure thing. Okay, here I go. The incident sure is a pickle. Whoa, wow. Funakoshi livened up the store by reciting one of his most famous successful roles, Inspector Chukigogawa's signature lines. Talk about being devoted to the fans. He's a celebrity, but he's so nice. Still, I'm impressed a person as famous as you is part of the project. Yes, at first I thought I should turn it down since the airing time was only an hour, seeing as a rule I don't do movies that are shorter than 2 hours. But I'm willing to work on anything so long as it's 2 hours long. Mystery, comedy, high school drama, you name it. I never knew he had that kind of rule. But director Yamagishi was pitching it very passionately, and I ended up caving in. And besides, even if it was an hour long, he promised I'd get to do the other episode too. Effectively, it's still over 2 hours in total. Oh, I see. I guess actors that are that big are always going to have some quirks. Well, yeah, I mean, he's going to get paid more. Why would he waste his time? Because, I mean, he's like a big shot, so, like, why would you waste your time getting paid for, like, 5 minutes of footage? Well, actually, you know what? Honestly, yeah, because I'm thinking of, like, a Mark Hamill in the Skywalker, or, like, the Star Wars, like, sequels. I mean, he literally appears for, like, 30 seconds at the end of, whatchamacallit, the Force Awakens. And I'm sure he probably got paid like in $1 million contract just for appearing in a film for 2 seconds. Like, yeah, like big shots are. So I guess honestly, I would probably go for anything. I wouldn't really have that funky rule, but I could see why like you want to try and get those bigger roles because obviously the more you're required to work, you're going to get paid more, and obviously make a bigger name for yourself, give yourself more of a character development. People will see you truly shine, as they say. Oh God, I think I'm gonna shit. I really hope that didn't pick up. I'm sorry. It sure is lively in here. Definitely. I'm sure they're all surprised. They never imagined someone as famous as Mr. Funakoshi might show up here. It's a bit calmer now, but earlier there was even more people here. The store was completely crowded. Oh, well, that makes sense. It's not every day you get to meet someone like Mr. Funakoshi. Alright, I'm guessing I'm just kind of supposed to get something from him, right? Mr. Funakoshi, there's actually something I'd like to ask you. Something I can answer? Yes, about the project 10 years ago. Was this person part of the staff at the same time? Yagumo pulls up Monomi's picture on the smartphone and holds it up to Funakoshi to see. This is a recent picture, so she might have looked a bit different 10 years ago. No, yes, I think she was part of the staff. I'm sure of it. Fuck. Monomi was part of the staff. Fuck, it's her. It's her, dude. Holy shit. Really? Yes, I think she was working behind the scenes, but she's so pretty the filming staff was talking about her all the time. Quite a few of the staff members hit on her, but they were all rejected. I knew it. What about her? Oh, nothing. I was just curious. Thank you very much. Yagumo thanks the confused Funakoshi and places his smartphone in the pocket with a severe expression. Well, I know who we're interrogating in max mode in the solution. The solution's gotta be up soon, right? It has to be. This is it. This is that. I felt like there'd be more of a dramatic oomph to it. I feel like I'm still in shock that it's Monomi. Like, I feel, but you know, she kind of wasn't really like a major role. So it's kind of like one of those, like, oh, it's the last person you'd expect. But, like, I'm still just so... How does she fit in? Why did she do all of this? Why did she tell people to go commit murders? Why was she, like, hindering my progress to know the truth, even though I fucking knew the truth from the beginning? That's Yagumo's damn sister that committed suicide. Like, he freaking knew about that. The sun begins to set as Yagumo and his team walk along the dimly lit road. What are you gonna do next? Tell Masawa about this? No, we don't have definitive proof, and there's still too much we don't know for sure yet. For now, we should try speaking to Monomi directly. So we're going back to the mainland? Yeah, apparently she went back today, but the ferries aren't going anymore. We'll go back tomorrow. Magari, can you get us tickets for the ferry? On it. Magari takes her smartphone out of her pocket and unlocks the screen. But just then... Whoa! That scared me. Her phone rings all of a sudden. Magari takes out the call, a bit rattled. Hello? Yes. Yes, well... Yeah, but... Yes. Yes. Huh? What do you mean? No, we haven't. Yes, yes, understood. Let us know if you hear anything, too. Yes. Megari hangs up the call and looks at Yagmo with a pale face. What's wrong? Did something happen? No. No. Fuck you, game developers. No, I knew it, because she was alone in the room with her. Son of a fucking bitch, man. That's it. You crossed the line, you sick son of a bitch. Hitoa. Hitoa is... Huh? Did something happen to her? Hitoa-chan's... disappeared from the hospital. Okay, she just disappeared. She could still be alive. I swear to y'all, dude, I'm gonna beat... I'm an advocate for true gender equality. I don't care that if it's a woman that did all this. I'm gonna beat the living fuck out of that woman if she lays a finger on Hitoa. I swear to y'all, I will beat the fuck out of her. Don't you dare touch that sweet bean. What? What do you mean? What happened? They didn't tell me either. They just said she's gone. They asked if we know where she is. God, I knew that was the first thing I was worried about. If Monomi was the culprit, she was in the room. That's why she was visiting her. That's why she was in the room by herself. Why, Yoda? When you get a white person so mad they say why yada? Oh no. For real, I'm about to why yada hit freaking Monomi. Oh my. Dude, I swear, if we discover Hitoa's dead body, I'm going to beat her to death with this hammer. The next evening. Yagmo's group couldn't secure tickets for the Rainbow Jet, so they took the fastest ferry to the mainland. They arrived at Dock 7 after 5 p.m. Oh shit, my screen freezed up. The group then headed to the hospital and rushed into Hitoa's room, trying to suppress their panic. Motherfuck, dude. How did she walk out with her? How'd they just gonna let her do that? Bruh. Well, that's true. I mean, everyone in Shimane was in on it, so, like, I'm sure they could just be like, hey, she's the actress that we're doing films for. Can we, like, you know, take her out of the hospital? Oh, yeah, sure, just fill out this paperwork. And then they kidnapped her. Oh, not Hitoa, please. She's too sweet for that. I don't want her to die. No, please, man. Literally, like, everyone else died. Come on. Like, even Monomi. I didn't... So, actually, I guess she kind of was, like, dead from the... And I guess now that I think about it, like, Monomi kind of was a player, not gonna lie. So, I guess, you know... Guess not, like, really my type. But still, all the baddies keep dying. I don't want another baddie to die. Ah! The empty bed enters their field of vision, and the next moment... Gah! Someone suddenly grabs him by the collar and slams him against the wall. You. It's you. You're the one who took Hitoa away again. Gah! What are you... Where's Hitoa? Let her go. Let her go this instant. Megari and Kanade... Also, what the fuck is Kanade's... What the hell is he doing? He's screaming like a girl. Oh, no, director. Like, what is that? What is that face? My guy. I didn't know you were that concerned for me. Megari's less concerned for me. That's a real homie right there. Megari and Kanade rush in to stop the man's outburst. Wait just a moment. Just calm down. We came here to look for her too. We want to know where she is too. The moment falls silent, and after a moment he glares at them. Eventually he calms down and lets go of Yagamo. God, who are you anyway? How are you related to her? I'm Hitowa's father! Oh. With all his anger, so I figured it was either the manager or his dad, or her dad. Oh, need to clear my thrusty a little bit. With all the anger pestering out, the man introduces himself feebly as Yoshifumi Amakata. Hitowa has an incurable disease, so I told her to quit showbiz and come back home. I've told her this time and again. Dude, no fucking... What did... I'm so lost. What is it with these, like, actresses getting incurable diseases, killing themselves in the I'm so confused now. I'm just so... Bum, 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 ba-na. How is this linking? I don't understand. What is happening? I have now lost the plot of this. Are they fucking killing these people because some random women who happen to be actresses get some incurable fucking disease and die? So they gotta, like, kill themselves in a big shebang for a TV mystery drama. What the hell is happening? I don't get it anymore. I'm so confused. Just tell me the answers. I need answers. Oh, blessed. But she wanted to work for her dreams to the very end. If I knew this was what would have happened, I would have taken her back by force. An incurable disease? She never told us about that at all. How dare you? What didn't you understand? You're the ones who kept taking her along and exhausting her. She doesn't have much time left to live, and you, because of you, she came here. And now her condition's even worse. You shortened her lifespan. Because of you, you took her along. And... Yoshifumi becomes speechless and covers his face with his hand. He likely realizes how unreasonable he's being, but can't stop himself. Yagumo can understand how he feels all too well, and bows his head at Yoshifumi. I'm sorry. We didn't give her the care and attention she needed, but please, let us help her look for her now. Yoshifumi says nothing, simply averting his gaze from Yagumo. Yagumo watches silently as Yoshifumi walks out of the room with unsteady steps. He's likely going out to search for Hitowa again. What did he mean by, she doesn't have long to live? Director? For the time being, let's not think about that. We need to focus on finding her. Yeah, you're right. But what do we do now? You say we need to find her, but where do we even look? For now, we need some clues. Let's search the hospital room to see if we can find something. Well, I'm assuming she's probably wrote something or emailed something. Huh? On the bedside table is her smartphone, still connected to the charger. A lot of people probably called her since yesterday, Yagumo and his group included. Her lock screen is covered in missed calls notifications. She left her smartphone behind. No wonder she didn't pick it up when we called. This means we can ask the police to track her using the GPS, but wouldn't you need to have the phone on you? Right? Wouldn't you need to have the phone on you to track by GPS? Yagumo speaks while gazing at the smartphone sitting on the bedside table. Could you unlock this phone? Huh? There's probably some kind of clue in the phone. Like, maybe she looked up where she went. No can do. It's got a password on it. There has to be some kind of way. Try inputting in at random, maybe? Do you have any idea how many combinations exist? If you could crack passwords that easily, there'd be no point in setting them in the... No, there's a way. Huh? Really, Kanaide? Yeah, there are a few scenes of Hitowa unlocking her phone in the location scouting footage we made. We can estimate her password from the way she moved her fingers. Good going! Alright, pull up the footage and let's check it. Dude, that's actually really fucking genius right there. The group finds footage of Hitowa handling her smartphone and trace the movements of her fingers to try and crack the password. Thankfully, they had clear footage of her doing it, so they easily cracked the password to the phone on the second attempt. Wow, that was easier than I thought. If you stand near someone when they're unlocking their phone, it's easy to see how they move their finger. People are pretty careless about that. I'll watch out for that. As the two have their exchange, Yagumo checks the phone web browser, but clicks his tongue in disappointment. Damn it. There's nothing. The only thing in her browser history is sites about places she saw with us when we were location scouting. Looks like her email. Let's look at her emails then. He closes the browser and opens up the mail client. Yagumo moves his finger restlessly for a moment, scrolling quickly through the mail titles. But then, his finger stops as a small gasp escapes his lips. What? What's wrong? Magari peeks at the smartphone screen from behind Yagumo, as what he sees is... That's Yugen Sai Kumashiro? He contacted her too? God damn it, why didn't I consider that? Yagumo searches for Yugen Sai Kumashiro's name and starts opening up the mails one by one. Fuck. Congratulations from Yugen Sai Kumashiro. Miss Hitoa Amakata, congratulations. True to my predictions, your dream of getting the lead role has come true. Your disease does not mean you need to give up on your aspirations. I shall give you more advice to change your fate for the better. You need only believe in me. Subject, let us try something. From Yugen Sai Kumashiro. Miss Hitoa Amakata, allow me to make a prediction so your fate can change for the better once more. Take a day off from the workshop today and try to climb up to Mount Takuyo. Is that how you say it? The spiritual energies of that place should have good influence on you. Oh my god, even her exercising that day? Subject, keep moving and exercising. From Yugen Sai Kumashiro. Miss Hitoa Amakata, here is my next premonition for the changing of your fate. Tomorrow, wake up early and perform radio calisthenics. The fresh morning air and some exercise should have a positive influence on staving off your illness. Yagumo stops scrolling and checks the mail's date. That mail arrived right when they were in the middle of the location scouting in Suwano. You're fucking joking, bro! So the reason we were exercising in front of the inn back then, feeling the cold sweat slide down his back, Yagumo opens up the next mail. Subject, try challenging yourself. From Yugen Sai Kumashiro. Miss Hitoa Amakata, here's my next premonition for changing your fate. Challenge yourself and try bungee jump. Oh my god! And she bungee jumped when she went to the freaking, right? Didn't she? She went on like a vacation and went bungee jumping or something, right? The peril of putting your life at risk will rekindle your passion for life. Challenging yourself in the future will be important to you. This is... Hitoa said this when we were going on our way to Yotsunu. She said she tried bungee jumping. Yeah, I remember. Oh, that was them in the future talking about the past, my bad. The odd things she would do every now and then were all instructions from the email. They kept reading the mails, seeing them instruct her on all sorts of odd things they recall her doing. And eventually... Subject, you need to discard. From Yugen Sai Kumashiro. Miss Hitoa Amakata, a good friend of yours is in danger. My condolences. However, you must abandon that friend now. You must discard the greed to gain everything and all of your attachments. Do nothing today, and watch your friend's fate through to the end. Look at the date of this mail! That's the time when we ran away during the Yotsunu incident. So the friend this mail is referring to is me. It's telling her to abandon me. But Hitoa was going to split from us and go back to Tokyo. But she came back as soon as you were proven innocent. And she helped me save you. So that's what happened. She ignored his advice. For my sake. And the question of what kind of calamity that brought down on her, feeling as if something where black smoke was billowing up from the pit of his stomach, Yagumo read the next email. Subject, you ignored my prediction. From Yugen Sai Kumashiro. Miss Hitoa Amakata, you ignored my warnings. That is quite regrettable. I have tried to protect you, but maintaining your health any further is becoming difficult. Misfortune will likely befall those close to you soon. I can no longer completely prevent this, but I will act to keep this misfortune to come as light as possible. Does that mean her father's injured arm? That dirty scheming! He drove her into a corner deftly, coiling her like a spider web. Yagumo was filled with overwhelming anger at the sender of the mail. I get it. I know how that bastard operates now. He manipulates people with a mix of anchoring and foot in the door tactics. He gives people instructions through social networks and emails, using persuasion and intimidates to force them to do what he says. At first, he starts with simple instructions to hull his victims into a sense of safety, but his orders become more demanding, and in the end, he tells people to commit suicide. What? What? No, nobody would go that far just because someone online told them to. No, they would. Cases like this have happened in Russia, and from there on around the world. So, that means Hitoa is... With shaking fingers, Yagumo scrolls down to the last mail. Yagumo opens up the mail to see. Fuck, man! Subject, I applaud your resolve. From Yugen Sai Kumashiro. Miss Hitoa Amakata, it pleases me to see you abide by my predictions in the very end. The proof that you have lived will remain for all eternity. Tomorrow night, I will await you at the entrance to the underworld. Director! Hitoa's going to... Damn it. What does entrance to the underworld mean? That place with the fucking mailbox at the beginning. When we first met her. We can't tell where she is with this. Forget it. Let's split up and look for her. Yes. I'll use the company's van. Magari, use your car. Take Kanade and let the police know about this. Roger. She's at the place where we first met her, that letterbox place. It's already late enough to be considered nighttime. Ignoring the nurse's shouts, Yagumo and his group run out of the hospital. Fuck, where was that? I forget where that was. Was it Hirasaka? I forget where that place was. It was this place. As the sun sets over Yomotsu Hirasaka, there's no one around. A complete silence envelopes the place. Dude, please, we have to make it in time. We don't need this. She deserves a long, happy, healthy life. I don't care if she has an incurable disease. The moments we had with her were fun, and she wanted to be there, and I'm glad she was there to experience a fun time with us. Even though she had to witness people die, it was still a fun time. I don't want her to die, at least from killing herself. She should go out peacefully, man. Come on. Why are these people being manipulated to do evil shit, bro? The silence is broken by the sound of an automobile banking and a car door being opened and closed, followed by Yagumo's voice. Hitoa! Hitoa! If you're there, say something! Hitoa! He goes up the hill where the Chibiki stone is, but finds no trace of Hitoa. The mail mentioned the entrance to the underworld. I'm sure it meant this place. Hitoa! Hitoa! Shit, this isn't the place. Yagumo looks around stubbornly for a while longer, but eventually gives up and goes back into the van. Fuck. Because this is where we last, kind of interacted with Monami here, right? I think. Yagumo rushes to Miho-kan and calls out to the woman at the front. Does Monami Hashima still have a room here? Huh? Yes, she still has a room here since she's she'll be staying for a long time. If she's back, could you call her? Please, quickly. No, she was back last night, but went out for this evening. Do you know where she went? Please, tell me. No, I didn't ask her about that. Except she did ask for a rental car to be arranged, so I believe she's likely far away from here right now. A rental car? Hitowa's probably with Monomi. Where did they go? Yagumo hurriedly thanks the woman at the front desk and rushes out the entrance. Hitowa. Damn it, where did you go? He had no idea where to look next. Yagumo was racking his brain in an attempt to come up with a place that might be it. The mail mentioned the entrance to the underworld, but it wasn't Yomotsu Hirasaka. Then where could it be? Having realized that much, realization suddenly flashed throughout his mind. Wait, Shimane had another hole to the underworld. Inome Cave. The Izumo Fudoku calls it a hole to the underworld. That's the place. No sooner than he realizes this, Yagumo. The tires screech as the van turns around and heads south towards the 431 route. From the 431 route, he turns to the 250 route and then drives along the coastline on a rustic national highway to Route 23. He then arrives to a spot where there are few civilian houses and only a few traffic signs, Inome Cave. He pulls over from the road and goes down the trail only those familiar of the area know of. He then reaches what looks like a ship graveyard, and there he finds... Is it max mode time? Bruh, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Yagumo, if you don't beat the fuck out of this woman right here, right now, I'm gonna lose my shit. I swear. There is nothing in the world that would fucking stop me for beating the living shit out of this woman. I don't even care about the truth anymore. The fact that she has manipulated Hitowa, I want to strangle this woman. I fucking hate this bitch. I don't care what kind of oh, my significant other jumped off the building and I watched people freaking film it and they did nothing for it, so now I'm taking revenge and manipulating people to make them kill themselves. I know, that's how they link the prologue. I'm assuming Monomi, whoever the fucking in the prologue jumped off and killed themselves, was related to Monomi. She saw this, and now she's enacting her revenge by manipulating fucking people to jump off cliffs and fucking kill themselves. I get the fucking premise now, but dude, there is nothing right now that is stopping me from wanting to beat the ever-loving shit out of this woman. I don't care how freaking sadistic, I don't care how sexist that sounds. This woman needs to be brought down. I literally want to beat her up. I am infuriated. Fuck you for bringing Hitowa into this shit. Fuck you for touching my family. Fuck you for... Literally, she did it to Rio. That literally is his sister. This whole time, she's been driving all these people to suicide. There's not a shred ounce of sympathy that I will fucking ever have for this woman. I don't care what kind of sob story you're gonna spiel that your significant other or whatever killed themselves by jumping off a roof and no one helped them. That doesn't give you an excuse to manipulate and convince people to do the same. Unless you're gonna convince me that all these people involved with this shit somehow wronged you, then maybe, just maybe, I will have a teensy salt grain of sympathy for you. But you still shouldn't kill people. She's still manipulating and having people kill themselves. I don't care what the... He bullied me, so I had to shoot him in the school. Like, no, that's not a fucking excuse. Oh my god, I'm just livid right now. We're literally... please. If there's any... I will gladly... Yagumo, he should gladly give up his life for Hitowa. I'm sorry. That's all I'm saying. I just want Hitowa to live at this point. There's no reason a sweet, innocent woman such as her should fucking die in this manner. I'm sorry. She should go out peacefully. She should have a fun life. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, Monomi. I hate you. I am livid, dude. You've come, Yagumo. Monomi. A folding chair is set facing the sea, where Monomi sits with the breeze blowing through her hair. Monomi, what did you do with Hitoa? As Yagumo draws at her in range, Monomi lifts the index finger to her lips in a silencing gesture and cracks a thin smile. Shouting like that would insult to this beautiful moonlit night. I'm sure you have a lot to ask me, so let's take our time and talk. Oh man, she's gonna be the one freaking. Hitoa's probably on the side of a cliff right now about to kill herself, and she's dragging this out, making me go into damn max mode to reveal the damn plot. I don't care anymore. I feel like I fucking solved the case already. I just want to save Hitoa. I don't need this right now. I don't need your bullshit. I don't need that stupid smirk. I don't need those freaking beautiful looks to stun me anymore, man. You are a criminal, and you're a bad person. You're a poopy head, and you should go to timeout. Bad person. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Alright, let's get... this is it. I shouldn't... This is the climax. Let's bring her home, baby. There's only one thing I want to know. Where's Hitoa? Ma, what makes you think I know where she is? Don't play coy with me. I know everything already. You're Yugensai Kumashiro, aren't you? Yugensai Kumashiro? A detective told me about him. He murders people by sending them mails and manipulating them, right? Wasn't that him? Director Ibuse? That's why he committed suicide. Poisoned himself. No, Director Ibuse died because someone replaced the capsules he drinks with poisoned ones. That wasn't suicide. It was murder. What makes you say that? The expression Director Ibuse made when he started coughing up blood. There was a hint of a surprise in his eyes. He wouldn't have made that expression if he had been poisoned himself. Or if he poisoned himself. You're perceptive. But the emotion and facial expressions he made is just your subjective opinion. This isn't enough to decisively conclude it was murder, is it? No. There was something else about the way he acted that made me conclude it was a murder. And that's the mirror, right? Or he said, see you, right? Yeah, Ibuse said, I see you right before his death. Director Ibuse, when it happened, he had said his eyes fixed on a certain point and said, I see. He looked surprised when he started coughing up blood, and then he said, I see, when he realized something. That doesn't seem natural for suicide. Yes, it doesn't. But what does it all mean? He probably saw a person who met up with him and poisoned him at the spot he was looking at. And that moment he saw that person, he understood everything and accepted his fate. But the police say says that except for you. No one else was there. In other words, whoever he was looking for was one of your group. No, that's not right. Because... Ibuse... No. When directing a visit there... Ibuse said, I see, to someone reflected from the garden right before his death. I'm assuming that's what they mean? I'm gonna go with it. No, at the time, he wasn't looking at us. That's odd. Who else would he have looked at when it was only you in there with him in the house? He wasn't looking directly at a person. He was looking at the mirror inside the house. And when he looked into the mirror from his position, he had a view of the garden. He was looking at the garden through the mirror's reflection, where he saw someone hiding there. In other words, he was looking at you, Monomi. At me? I took a ferry to the Hashira port and got off Nakanoshima. How would I have gotten to the villa in Nakanoshima, or Nishinoshima from there? Well, took a domestic vessel. It's quite simple. You used a domestic vessel. True, the Oki Island steamboat ferry was already closed for the day, but you could take a domestic vessel back to Beppu Port. I checked with the Isokage's captain, and he remembers you boarding his ferry on that day. If you weren't the one who switched in the poison capsules, why did you hide it and act as if you were only arriving at the island the other day? The two glare at each other for a short while, but then... Was that it? There's no, like, wah, wah, wah. Monomi starts laughing and chuckling like a child that lost a glaring contest. Monomi, what's so funny about this? I mean, you always act exactly the way I want you to. What? All of your answers are correct. A perfect A+. Really, you always score top marks. That's true for Sawano and for Yotsunu. What do you mean by that? You know, Yagumo, the simpler the murder is, the harder it is to solve. The more important part is getting rid of the corpse. Nowadays in Japan, a case is hardly ever considered an incident if they can't find the body. Mystery films and novels make it seem like you never overblown tricks to do it. But the truth is, not using tricks makes a case harder to crack. In which case, why? Why did Saikyo Ito and Yugo Tomine go through the trouble of setting up such an elaborate trick? Wait! Are you saying it was you? It was. I just gave them a bit of advice. Oh, but don't misunderstand me. They wanted to murder someone to begin with. I just gave them a little push. So you gave them advice as Yugensai Kumashiro? But why do that? Well, I had multiple reasons. But the biggest one was you. Me? Me? Yes. So you could film it and solve those tricks by viewing the footage. I set those juicy incidents all so that you could do that. Why? Why would you do that? Monomi doesn't answer his question, simply gazing into the sea. Eventually, she turns back to him with a smile that's far too gentle considering what she's just confessed. You see, Yagumo, people have a fascination with seeing the deaths of others. That's something my little sister's death taught me. So is her little sister that... But still, what gives you the right to do it to other people? Your little sister's death? Yes, my younger twin sister. Ever since I was little, we'd communicate perfectly. Telepathy, a twin's resonance, perhaps. Even when we were apart, we could share and feel each other's feelings. The case of Saikyo and Seiya Ito crossed Yagumo's mind. They probably had something like the resonance Monomi and her younger sister. And when she was a student, she committed suicide by jumping. I could feel her emotions in the days leading up to it. It left me depressed. But the true stabbing sorrow only came rushing just before she breathed her last. She jumped down from an apartment building's roof, crashing on the concrete. And in that despair, while the flame of her life was flickering out, none of the people around tried to save her. They simply turned their cameras to her. I fucking knew it. I called that. I feel like a fucking genius. I knew it had something to at least do with that. Now, I couldn't pinpoint that it was Monomi the whole time, so that one was kind of a twist, but I knew that had to be the case. I knew this was going to be some kind of revenge plot because whoever jumped from the building in the damn prologue was going to take revenge because no one fucking helped because they were bleeding out and they were asking for help. They were literally coughing up blood saying, hey, please help me, it hurts, I'm not dead yet, and no one fucking helped them. So, like, I figured that was going to be the sadistic ploy to the premise. But again, does that give you a fucking excuse to murder other people the same way? Yep, and here's the prologue. That's right, didn't Yagumo dream about that? If I'm not mistaken, or maybe he didn't. Her sorrow at the time had been intense. I was on my way back from school, and I didn't just feel her emotions. I saw what she saw. I was in so much pain, but all they did was stand back and snap photos. They only saw her death as a spectacle. That's so... And at that moment, I realized Deep down in their subconscious, people constantly long to see other people's deaths. No, not everyone is like that. I wonder about that. When you looked at these incident footage, didn't you feel drawn to them? What? Another max mode? Man, this bitch is dragging it out. You don't get two. Wait, this is unfair. You don't get 2 max modes. You only get 1. We solved the case. Get the fuck out of here. End scene. Stage close. You done, kid. We're out of here. Let's go save Hitoa. Seriously though, like I fear that Hitoa is like on the verge of jumping off the damn cliff. Can we get on with it? I need to save her life, please. Please? We save her life, right? we save her life, right? we save her life, right? As you were watching them for just the cause of solving those cases, deep down you actually enjoyed watching those deaths, didn't you? I didn't. You don't need to be ashamed of it. It's human nature. Maybe it's curiosity, or maybe it stems from a dread in one's potential death. You see, every day life throws a nasty-sided set of dice. Your dice's sides decrease as you get older, and each side's chances of landing increase. And in the end, your die all fall on the side of death. It's a fair, impartial system, and everyone lives their days, aware of it to some extent. And so, when they see someone else die, people become relieved. My dice didn't land on the side of death today. And that's what you're trying to tell me with this? You drove my sister to suicide and filmed her death, all because you wanted to teach me this? That makes you exactly the same person as all the people who sat at your sister's as your sister died. No, you're wrong. How am I? I don't seek entertainment that relishes in death. I want art that challenges people, shakes them to their core, to their very subconscious. And so, I wouldn't film just anyone's death. It wouldn't form the contrast composition of fine art if it isn't the life of someone who lived brilliantly. And that's why you picked my sister? Your sister didn't wish to remain a nameless actress. She aimed for stardom without reporting to lowly tactics, lustful swimsuit shoots, or lowly films meant to entice the masses. And so, she accepted my offer of her own will. That's sophistry? Sophistry? How do you fucking say that? What the hell? That's sophistry! Sophistry? That's right, you preyed on her weak heart. My sister was... She was really ill. She was gonna die anyway. My sister was stricken with an incurable disease. I can't imagine how anxious and afraid she was, and you took advantage of that weakness. And even so, that doesn't change the fact that she did it of her own will. The fact remains that she wanted to remain on the film. She was going to die either way, so rather than die weak and emaciated, she wished to live her last as an actress, leave her mark on the world. And so, I turned the brilliance of her life and the moment her life turned to death into art, by burning it into film. You're wrong. Huh? You're wrong! You drove her to her death! You made her think that way. I know your methods now. You manipulated her the same way you toyed with Hitoa. You start with simple instructions to make people obedient and act as if you predicted the result to make them form a positive bias of you. Sorry, excuse me. And if they don't obey, you sometimes persuade them or intimidate them sometimes. That's how you corner people before they realize it's too late. Yes, you cornered my sister by threatening her. You told her harm would come to those around her if she doesn't cooperate. What in the world are you talking about? I mean... Akari Kuramochi was one of the actresses, right? Akari Kuramochi was one of the actresses for Manabe and was burned while on the role. I mean the incident that hurt Manabe's actress. A lighting stand hit her, inflicting burn that ended her acting career. You did that to corner my sister. You did the same to Hitoa. By injuring her dad, you put her under the impression that disobeying you meant those close to her would be hurt. The brilliance of life? You coerced people into obeying you. Is that what you call art? All the mysteries. Oh my god, this is it, baby. I mean, I don't know at what point I didn't think this wasn't it, so. But I guess all the trophies come once you do the final max mode, so this is our conclusion here. Please, dude. Please, Hitoa, man. I don't want her to do it. Please, please. If you can resist the brainwashing, Hitoa, just like you did when you came to save me, please do it now. Please do it now. I see. What you said isn't wrong. At least, what you said on the surface. On the surface? I mean, you looked at the footage from Suwano and Yotsunu, the incidents you encountered, all to stimulate your creativity, haven't you? That's not... I didn't. You may say that. Ibuse was like that at first too. But once he started gathering films of death like I told him, his writing style changed to the better. He became capable of cutting into profound depths of what makes one human, and express it on a screen without relying on exaggerated acting. And what was the result of that? He gained fame and acclaim, elevating him to his current status. That's all the proof you need. If that's true, why did you do that to him? True artistic pursuit requires vast amounts of passion, and he was tired. His passion was petering out over his last few years. So I simply had to play out his final task, to serve as an exquisite piece of reference material. An exquisite piece of reference material? Yes. To create a proper successor, I wanted to give them a chance to touch on real death. But I didn't have such a moment of true death. And so, I had him act that moment out. In other words, to make you his successor. Me? And you created all those incidents so far. For that? Yes. And tonight, I will use the perfect reference material to make you into his successor. See? The director's already called action. Huh? Monomi points at the shore. Yagumo follows her finger to find... Save her! Quickly! Quickly! Into the water! Away! Hitoa! Standing in the water surface that looks undulating, molten darkness, is Hitoa. She stands up to her knees in the water with her back turned to them. Hitoa! Hitoa! Perhaps she can't hear Yagumo's voice, because Hitoa takes one step closer to the water, then another, as the water gradually swallows up her body. Hitoa! What did you... Well, do you like that sight? Huh? Fantastical. Beautiful. The very image of profound elegance, isn't it? This is true art. The kind that manifests the heart of man. Now choose, Yagumo. Will you become Ibuse's successor, a true artist, or end as an average, run-of-the-mill director? Come, Yagumo. There shouldn't even be fucking hesitation. Stop shitting with me! Huh? I am Yagumo. Rentaro Yagumo. No, Yagumo Max, a filmmaker. I'm not the kind of pathetic director that needs to rely on other people's deaths to make art. You're throwing this chance away? I'll get many chances as I need in the future. Just bite your fingers and watch me do it from your prison cell. Ah! Roaring from the depths of his lungs, Yagumo unflinchingly takes off, plunging into the dark sea. He parts the waves with both his arms, swaying water all around him as he swims towards Hitoa. Hitoa! Hitoa, come back! Hitoa! Can you hear me? Hitoa! Stay back! Please, stay back. What are you saying? Get back here. Come on, give me your hand. Please, just leave me alone. Huh? I don't have long to live either way. So at least let my final moments be. What would filming that achieve? There's no value in that. Don't let Monomi fool you into her sophistry. I don't know what the fuck that word means. I don't care if it's sophistry. What? If that way I can leave my image in this world, someone could see it. I know I existed. I'm sorry, my voice is so fucking shot, I can't do her voice anymore. I'm so sorry. I've been recording for so long. I'm ruining the final moments. I'm sorry. In that case, I'll film you. What? I'll film you when you're the most radiant. But it'll be the way you live. The way you struggle to live despite your illness. To the very end. So please, don't throw your own life away. With that scream, Yagumo catches up to Hitoa at once and holds her in an embrace. Hitoa! Director! But at that moment, a large wave washes over them. Shit! His wet clothes and his weight of 2 people weigh him down, rendering him unable to stand as the waves crash over him. This is bad. But that moment, just as despair was creeping into Yagumo's heart, I don't know who this is. I'm assuming Magari? Maybe? Hitoa! Yagumo! Oh my, Kashino saves the motherfucking day? Alright, let me redo that. Sorry, let me redo that line. Hitoa! Yagumo! A hand grabbed Yagumo by the collar, yanking him back to shore. Hitoa, stay with me! Yagumo, you hold on too! Kashino? With Kashino's help, the 2 of them are dragged back to shore with little by little. That fucking smug-ass bitch, dude, and she ain't even care that she's getting arrested. I hate this bitch. At some point, several patrol cars pulled over at the side of the road, and Misawa stood in front of Monomi. Monomi Hashima, an arrest warrant has been issued against you. You're charged with instigation of murder, at least at present. Could I ask you to cooperate and come along quietly? Yes, understood. Monomi finally rose from the shore and turned to look at Yagumo, who gazed at her while dripping with water. Really, this isn't to my taste. But maybe this kind of ending works too. She stood up with a faint smile on her lips. All right, 21:17 hours. Suspect apprehended. At Misawa's voice, officers rush over to take Monomi away. Director! Hitoa! And behind them, Yagumo could see Magari and Kanade approaching him with a smile. So, I sure hope there's post-ending credits, my bad. So, really? She did all that for art. For art. To get a director to sort of create inspiring stuff. She committed all those murders. You know, I'm not gonna lie, part of me is like, it would have made more sense to me if she was just getting her revenge. for all the people, because like that was a factor, though. That was a factor about you know, someone significant to her dying, being the one jumping from the building in the prologue. But it would have made more sense if like she was almost doing it like in a revenge sort of way, rather than just like, oh, we as humans need to experience true art, so I manipulate and make people kill themselves. So that way it gives inspiration to film directors. Whoever like the current acting, whoever she's currently assisting, I guess. I mean, you know, at least it wrapped it all up. I finally was able to link the prologue. No, because, yeah, I was primarily right about a lot of things. It felt like I was at least spot on how, has a Hatoa passed now? Aww. And I'm assuming they're sending her letters through the... Oh... Well, I'm glad she at least went out on happier terms. So that's what I wanted to see. I didn't want her to fucking kill herself. That's awful. I'm glad she at least... What? That's really it. Wow. No, that's really the end. Interesting. Huh. Final thoughts of the... congratulations. We officially played... If you can't tell, I'm like so fucked up in the voice now. I've been recording for a very long time, way longer than I normally do, so I really kind of want to wrap this up here. But anyway, first, I would say true, like, official visual novel experience. As in, like, it was more like reading a book rather than, you know, actually playing a game. Because I would argue Danganronpa has a lot of, like, more gameplay elements. I mean, shit, you can explore a map in that game. There's more gameplay than, you know, than there is... It's more to gameplay than it is just, like, writing and reading. Whereas this game, it's more so we are just kind of, like... Because in Danganronpa, it almost feels like you are playing as the character, whereas here, you're just kind of watching scenes unfold. Now, granted, Max Mode was, like, you had to decide the right answer... But that was the only time we really selected stuff. Any other time, it was like, just pick a location and watch the scenes unfold. So we really didn't have control. So it truly was like the visual novel book experience, so to say. But I really enjoyed it. It was a good twist. There was a lot of twists and turns, but I still feel like I managed to shine as an expert in the mystery, drama, you know, genre category, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like I was able to predict a lot of things that happened. Even though it wasn't until like very late in the game, they were like, oh yeah, we can actually confirm this now that this is what's going to happen. I will say Monomi being the ultimate culprit of it, I guess, I'll admit I didn't really guess that. Just because I was kind of getting to the point where I was like, dude, like, I feel like they just keep throwing more and more loops. I only could conclude that it was someone we had already met. And that was where... But I at least confirmed that, like, the prologue linked because whoever the Yugensai Kumashiro was, the actual culprit of the game, had some kind of significant, important person was the one that killed themselves in the prologue. But for her to just make it into a spiel like, oh, it's all about art, like... What the hell? That, I don't know. I felt a little unsatisfied about that, but I mean, it's different, I will say. I don't know. I guess I'm more of like a cliche kind of person. I would have much preferred it being revenge, because it's like now, I virtually have absolutely no, like, I would, if the player could actually control Yagumo, I would have beat the fuck out of that woman. I'm sorry. I will wholeheartedly... YouTube, you can arrest me for saying that. I don't care. I'm an advocate for true gender equality. I would literally beat the fuck out of her. Like, that is no... Because of art, I manipulated people to kill themselves. Like, how is that okay? Like, no, she shouldn't just go to jail and be comfy in her cell. No, she should, like get her life ruined. Like, take a few limbs or something. I don't know. Like, she needs to feel pain or something. Like, that's messed up. I'm just glad that Hitoa wasn't like on the edge of a cliff ready to jump off and die. But I mean, yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, like, think about in Yagumo's case. I mean, she literally manipulated and forced his older sister to kill herself. Like, that was a sister. Like, someone really important to him. Like, that's literally his family that you just drove to die for your artistic value. Just because they're gonna die soon, that's why you did it. That's why you control and manipulate a lot of these actresses and actors, because they have some kind of illness that's gonna like kill them eventually. So it's like, hey, might as well go out in style, dude, and kill yourself. Like, what? In a passion for glory in the name of making movies. I don't know. It was definitely an interesting twist. Like, it was unique in that sense, and it drove it into the whole like film directing aspect of the game. But I still feel like I'd rather taken the cliche and she was just murdering for the sake of revenge against the people that didn't help her sister when she jumped off the building. Other than that, I mean, that was well worth the journey. In fact, holy shit, that was probably longer than like the Indivisible playthrough. There was a lot of hours in gameplay content. I mean, this recording alone, this ending is like 5 hours long. That's why I have no scroll wheel. That's why I literally have no voice. Voicing every single character for 5 hours really puts a wear and tear on your voice. So I am extremely pooped out. So I'm not gonna try and drag it on too much longer. But all in all, honestly, it was like a 9 out of 10 experience, I would say. I would say the only reason I wouldn't give it like an amazing was just a lot of the grammatical stuff. Which that could have led to like maybe it's just English isn't the developer's first language. There's a lot of writing, so there's bound to be someone like mistypoing or whatever, but for a murder mystery, like, you have to stay consistent, because it's like if you mess up names or if you mess up the method of something, like if you type something different and you don't stay consistent, then the player themselves could never figure out the answers. Now, luckily, I could read through like 90% of them. It's just like, oh, and 90% of them were mostly just like, oh, the T was left out of their name. So it's like, okay, clearly this is like Hitoa and not. But I would just worry about, like, if you're going to make a game like that and it's going to have typos like that, it may lead to someone getting confused. Especially because there was people who were using aliases in the game. There could be a difference between Hitoya and Hitaya or whatever. Potato. You know what I mean? But overall, very enjoyable experience. I guess with that being said, a week from this final publishing, so this video, we're taking next week off like I usually do to figure out what game I'll play next. Yeah, so I guess we'll look forward to whatever else I have in store. It might be another visual. I don't know. Maybe I'll actually try to get into like another actual game. I don't know. We'll see. Because I've been thinking the AI Somnium files, because that's made by Spike Chunsoft as well. So, but the reason why I feel like going straight into that after kind of just sort of recently finishing Danganronpa, like it's kind of like my little taste of still getting like a Spike Chunsoft murder mystery detective style game. So I don't want to jump straight into a game like that, but I do have both of their games on standby ready to play in the future at some point, hopefully. I don't know if that's going to be our next game. I have a few other visual novels. I also, like I said, I as much as I like visual novels more, because there's more to talk about, and also I stay more engaged when I'm the one like being the characters, because that's what I enjoy. I like the voice acting experience. I'm not the best at games, so a lot of people probably wouldn't watch me want to play like a shooter or something, because I'd be really freaking bad at it. So that's why I kind of avoid actual games, but there might be a few actual games that I might enjoy. Something like maybe Persona, maybe not as long as Persona 5, but Maybe play something like Persona 5 where it's like turn-based or something. You know what I mean? Something like that. Maybe I'll get into, I don't know. I might not just stick solely to visual novel experiences. You know, I might branch off a little bit, or maybe jump into a game that I've already played that I know it's like, oh, this will be fun to play for YouTube. But we'll see. I don't really have a clear direction. That's why I give myself an extra week to think of what game I'll play next. So, unfortunately, no Sauce the Boss next week. But look forward to the week after that for an exciting start to a new game. So, hope you all enjoyed this playthrough as much as I did. And I will catch you all on the flip side.